What is up, Dish Rags? JJ back here from Run Pure Bets with another free pick for it. This time's going to be in college football for Friday, September the 17th. Game's going to be played between the Louisville Cardinals and the Central Florida Knights, or as the cool kids call them, UCF. Betting spread is UCF minus 6.5, total 67.5. Now, first of all, I want to be clear that I just came back from the gym, so I'm ready to rock. Also, you might be thinking, oh, what this dude do? Like stick a fork in like an electrical socket? Fuck you. This is how I like to do my hair, and I know I usually wear hats, but this hairstyle is still in. I know it's got probably giving you Ryan Seacrest vibes or maybe Clay Aiken, but the hair works. Okay, I don't need your silly opinions. Last week, I didn't have a solo college football video as the Friday slate was a bit muck. Just a bunch of big favorites, and that's really never any fun, right? I did go live on Saturday, though, 1 and 2. Minus 0.55U. As I mentioned, I am doing half-unit bets this early in the season, as I always do. And look, regardless, win or lose, I'm here to recap. The difference, of course, with that day was ECU, as a small dog, could not hold a 2-touchdown lead. That game stung me more, as I actually ended up middling myself early in the second quarter with ECU up 14-0. I started watching South Carolina move the football better, so I semi-hedged with betting team total over 23.5 for South Carolina. I thought there was a huge middle there to hit both bets. And of course, ECU gets outscored 20-3 from that point to perfectly middle me into 2 losses. Most may say, well, that's a foolish wager, idiot, in hindsight. But look, my logic was ECU just needs to get 1 touchdown from that point, and I cannot lose both bets. I just was watching the game as well, and I felt ECU was getting a bit bailed out with some turnovers. I thought their offense would hum a little more than it looked early on. And as mentioned, South Carolina was moving the ball better. The middle was oh so small, but yes, I did catch it. Needless to say, pain at its finest. Cue the tiny violins. Okay, so moving onward now as the sample's getting bigger and bigger, I'm going to bump up to full unit wagers for Saturday's card. And I'm going to go live on Saturday to talk on some of those games. I'm not in love yet with what I've seen from these two teams, so I do like this play a lot. I just not a full unit yet, but I do have some plays for Saturday that I'm going to have for full unit. Regardless, my look here, I guess we could just dive right in, right? I know I'm kind of bullshit. High-powered offensive UCF draws Louisville here on the road, Friday night setting. My look here is actually Central Florida, first half minus 3.5, minus 105 at DraftKings. In New Jersey, I did plan on doing this video a day early, but I figured the cards would actually take money here. You get a non-Power 5, playing a Power 5 team on the road, laying points. And look, at the end of the day, folks, yes, early bird gets the worm, but second mouse gets the cheese. Okay, sometimes you got to wait to get good numbers. Regardless, why I didn't do this video earlier. But either way, 3.5 first half, love the spot. Sure, UCF travels, like I said, to play a Power 5 team here in a tough road setting. But this offense, as always, just hums along. Now they got Gus Malzahn calling the shots. Louisville gets their 3rd game in 12 days. There is a sample that holds relevancy, I would think, in terms of fatigue goes. There is a sample here that holds relevancy, and this is the Ole Miss game with Louisville, right? Ole Miss, Central Florida, similar, not identical, but similar in what they do, play fast, good offenses. Ole Miss absolutely torched this defense, almost 600 yards of offense. Ole Miss, of course, does rank better, or will rank better than UCF this season. Maybe not so much with raw numbers, because UCF has a weaker schedule. But strength of schedule is going to heavily favor Ole Miss, and they'll likely do it against tougher competition. So I want to be clear that I'm bringing you up the comp for relevancy, but Ole Miss will have a better offensive season than UCF. Regardless, that offense was fireworks versus Louisville. Ole Miss was only 2 for 9 on 3rd down. They lost time of possession by over 11 minutes, had 125 yards of penalties, and still won by 3 touchdowns. My big concern here is, does this Louisville offense have enough this early in the year to keep pace? We know Louisville's going to try to milk clock here to a certain extent. They don't exactly play slow football, but they will try to milk some clock here to keep Central Florida off the field. It's interesting, though, all around, because dual-threat quarterback Malik Cunningham tends to run this offense quickly. And the problem with this Cards team is they often live and die with his playmaking ability. They're better at home team, as most teams are in college football. And Louisville has weapons, but this offense has been a bit vanilla since Scott Satterfield's taken over. Very little flashiness to this offense and a ton of inconsistencies. Again, they live and die with Malik Cunningham. The O-line's really struggled as well to start the season. I just find it hard to imagine that on a short turnaround, this offensive line's going to figure things out. Good news for them is that UCF staple is certainly not their defense. I know Gus Malzahn will try to improve this, of course, but even him, he's an offensive guy. Cards are going to have their opportunities to score here for sure. I do think it's going to take some time for the Cardinals to adjust, though. Against Ole Miss, it took Louisville a while to get on the board. Once they did, they got into a bit of a rhythm, maybe some complacency on Ole Miss's end, but regardless, that's when they started to score. I believe it was in the second half. UCF comes out firing. Their offense is always super efficient, and Gus Malzahn's going to try to make this offense more balanced, right? This at UCF, this offense over the last few years has been much more pass happy under Josh Heupel, and even under Scott Frost was a much more pass happy offense. Malzahn's going to balance his team out as he's done everywhere he's gone, throughout his coaching career. Dylan Gabriel likely takes the next step in his career as a junior under Malzahn here. And look, Isaiah Bowser from Northwestern spearheads this running back crew, just a workhorse Northwestern. And it seems like they're doing that same thing here with him in UCF. He get 33, 34 carries in that first start. The last one was a blowout anyway. I don't really look at that data as relevant. They also bring back Jalen Robinson to help the wide receiver core. Just a very well-balanced offense overall that should give Louisville fits defensively. Remember, this is still a very good Power 5 caliber coach at a non-Power 5 school. So, to me, this offense is still going to run in a blaze. It's going to be more balanced. Only 2 games in, but I really liked what I've seen from them. I felt the Boise game was really impressive, especially with how it started in a negative fashion for them. And they still came back and won. It's a typical spot where I love to back the Power 5 dog grabbing a touchdown at home. But there's just so many question marks I have about this Louisville team. They should have kept pace with Ole Miss, didn't. Their O-line got destroyed in that game. They should have absolutely railed Eastern Kentucky. They were 4 for 14 on third down in that game. What excuse there? I still like full game, but I prefer first half because a backdoor cover is potentially in the cards here. No pun intended. Louisville Cardinals, for those not realizing. I think as long as UCF doesn't let the crowd in it early, should be able to take control from near the jump and have little reason to look back. This UCF team is vulnerable to get backdoor covered, though. They've been something that happens, because they don't slow their offense down. They're one of those teams that doesn't slow things down with a big lead. They just continue to play fast. And sometimes it plays in their favor, sometimes it doesn't. But look, this UCF team has offense in their favor, coaching staff in their favor. I'd argue defensively, they're not much worse than Louisville, if even at all. I also mentioned the third game in 12 days for Louisville, which isn't easy for a team at the start of a season. It's too many quick gaps for Louisville to fill on this short turnaround and outperform a team like UCF this earlier in the year. I know it's a Friday night home game for Louisville, and of course you'll get the crowd on your side. Little bits of momentum there, but I still like the number 3.5 laying with UCF in the first half. Got this minus 105 at DraftKings in New Jersey for half unit. May the odds be ever in our favor. I want to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, thumbs up. Create some fake accounts more. Thumbs up. If you did not enjoy, hope a tree falls inside your living room. As always, drop comments below your thoughts on the vid. Let me know who you're betting for the Friday slate. There's another game as well. We have content lined up all weekend on this channel. I'll be back live talking college football on Saturday, maybe even with some DFS guys to talk some of that as well. I am going to miss the Print Factory show with the DFS folks this week, but no worries. I will go live to talk a little NFL, whether it's Saturday evening or Sunday morning, so you can catch that on either way, whether live or afterwards. So yes, hopefully you catch that. We're gonna have live shows this weekend: UFC, NASCAR chatter, Joey Work talking a little baseball. First of all, how about a quick shout out to Joey Work? Absolutely smashing MLB this time of year, and it's hard, right, with all these 260, 280 favorites day in, day out. Joey just continues to do what he does in baseball, and expect more content from him moving forward, of course. And look, of course, you'll have NFL content, the live shows in NFL, and more plays. Head over to runpurebets.com, see what we're all about. And as always, folks, be sure to gamble responsibly. Stay safe. Thanks again for watching, and run pure.